So there'll be times where you actually photograph in a hotel room. There's going to be times where you photograph in the bride's bedroom, the parents' bedroom, and you would like to use the bed as a prop, or arguably getting the bride to lie on the bed and so on and so forth. So short of bringing in a bed in this environment, I thought would make it a little bit easier. We've got here an ottoman, and that will give us an idea of how to emulate what it's like and give you a couple of foundation poses and things to look out for when photographing on a bed. So, Lisa, what I'd like you to do is come around this way. We have a cushion here for your knees so you don't get a little bit sore there. So just do that there for me, and I want you to just rest with your arms in front, and let's see how you do it naturally. Okay, all right, so I'm glad you did that, because there's a couple of shots, there's a couple of things in this shot that actually need fixing. Automatically what you're doing is you're sinking the weight of your head and your body into yourself, and then your shoulders are riding up, and it's going to become a little bit of a problem. So what we need to do, first of all, I want a little bit of finesse with your body and a little bit of shape. Now, knowing that we prefer this side, we can certainly stay there, because your face will end up being to the chin to the outer shoulder in this context, and then we can maybe look at the other side and perhaps. So what I want you to do is bring your body a little bit more this way. So and then bring your arms a bit more this way. So do it again, just sink into your arms. So naturally that's what you would do. We do not want that kind of a pose. That's going to be an issue. So what first I want to do is just widen your arms, bring your hands closer in together. Beautiful. Now, I want to pretend like I'm just lifting you up by a string and turning your face this way, chin to the outer shoulder. Beautiful. Now, bring that shoulder back a little bit there. You've got a bit of tricep action going on there. Look at you. Girl, do you even lift? Do you even squat? Do you squat?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Not anymore. She's like, whatever. I like to bring the veil over the shoulders with this kind of photograph. I love the fact that her wrist is bent there a little bit too. I want a little bit of air there. There you go. That's beautiful. Very finessed. Let's come back and have a look. Always take your time. Always relax a little bit. Now, your shoulder, your right shoulder, bring it out a little bit there, and your elbow out a little bit there too. There you go. Beautiful. Chin up a little bit. That's gorgeous. Let's have a look at from this camera angle. Yeah, that's really pretty. I love that. Tilt your face more this way and chin up a little bit. There you go. It's funny how, let the air out a little bit. So let's just sink in, and there you go. That's what we don't want. That will only work if you photograph over her shoulder and get her chin to her shoulder. That will work. It's a nice little tight crop, but because we're cropping the awkwardness out. But what you want to do is just stretch her out. Whoop, beautiful. Nice and tight, gorgeous, life is good. Now, this could be likened to a bed. You might say, well, Jerry, if she was lying on a bed right now, what would she be doing with the lower part of her body? And what would she be doing with her legs and so on? Well, first of all, she could just simply bring her legs down and do nothing else. That's totally fine. Or she could actually ride up the dress a little bit and get her ankles over, and then cross her ankles over. And then, of course, you would show the Christian Louboutins, and she'll be very, very happy with that. Now, as opposed to that, what we could also do is, let's say, for example, this could be likened not only to the bride on a bed, it could also be likened to a bride arguably resting on a carpet or a piece of grass or something lying on the ground. Doesn't really matter. It could be anything lying on something. Remember, too, that you can very, very quickly change the pose by, for example, let's do that hand pose that we were doing. So we put our hands together and then we just roll the wrists around. That's beautiful. That works beautifully on her. Also, this could be something where she just frames her face. Gorgeous. Now this hand, I want you to bring on here. You see how that can be a really beautiful pose as well. Chin up a little bit. That's gorgeous. It could also be where she's framing her face with both hands. And then just bring the chin up a little bit. Just lift it up a little bit. That's gorgeous. Perfect. There's so many variations. Remember the phone number technique. We simply don't have to dial the same phone number every single time we pose. Just change one digit and all of a sudden things will change dramatically. Now let's just modify this and alter it by adding the groom in. Okay. So Dylan, come over here. Let's pretend like you were lying on a piece of grass or carpet or something that you were lying on the ground. What you would do, again, assuming they're lying on something flat rather than a step here, you would just kneel on the ground next to her, and you would basically put Yep, if you can put the cushion there as well so you're all happy. You're going to put your right arm around her. Beautiful. And then widen up your stance there for me, Lisa, and then put your hand on his hand. Beautiful. And I want this hand just sort of like this a little bit. Gorgeous. Bring your face right into hers there, mate. And this gives us a really good little foundation. Now, even her hand can just tickle his face there a little bit. And I love that. That's a really beautiful shot. Do you see how it somewhat emulates what we did on the table height or that bar height? This is just a starting off point, but everything is soft and everything is elegant. I even like the way half his face is hidden. Just turn your face still on a bit this way. Stop. I love that. So now she's looking down and he's giving us that cool Calvin Klein look as well. Love that. Perfect. Love that. We get that smile as well. But it's awesome that we can quickly change the pose, but do never waste the shot. You've taken photographs of the bride. Now we've taken photographs of the couple, and then we simply take photos of the groom. So now we've got 3 spreads arguably for the wedding album. Very cool, guys. Fantastic.